to my questions. I am cute as a ball. You are bored. I am cute as a ball. You will assist us. I am cute as a ball.
There are 4 lights.
I am cute as a ball. Block
This
faces
is
on
on
that
that
vessel.
vessel.
I
I am
am
the
cute as
cutest
a
of
ball.
all. There are 4 lights. Cool. Well, it's that time again, everybody. It is time for the stream. The live stream. The stream where I, Steve DeCasa, talk about film. If you don't notice up here, this is true. This holds true. So far, I've gotten $2 super chat. So $1 going to the cause. And if you check out over here, that's where the full 2 to 3 hour stream will replay. It's not on DeCasa Film. Still working this out. It's not on DeCasa Film. It's over on there. And then you can donate to here. DeCasa Film. Replay. Donate. You can subscribe to DeCasa Film. I'm also streaming on Twitch. Twitch.tv/rethinkfilms. That's a thing too. Welcome if you're watching on there. Let's grow that. Let's get more followers. Let's talk about film. It's way too hot for this, like always, so I'm gonna disrobe to the pizza. Sorry if you hear noise in the background. That is a fan. It is hot. I just ordered my air conditioner today. I needed to get a specific one. But yeah. So, but I get it. It's coming Thursday. So, there we go. If you're watching, say hello. Let's, I'm hoping the more I do this, the more people will show up. So if you're watching, I see 3 people. Hey, I'm Steve. How's it going? So today what we're going to do is now, I say normally on the streams, even though there is no normal. This is, I think, my 5th stream. I've been doing it, I'm in my 3rd week now. So that's cool. And I've been trying to mix it up. I've been trying not to do the same thing each time. So today, last week on Wednesday on the stream, I showed you guys my company's camera, Rethink Films. Right, if I go too far, I go out of the thing. But right there, /Rethink Films, that's my company. We're a video production company. That's what I do for a living. That's how I make money. That's how I put food on the table. Even though I don't eat on my table all the time. Sometimes I eat on my couch because I'm an adult. But anyway, that's what I do. So, Rethink Films, we have a camera. It's fairly new. We bought it last year, but we haven't used it on a lot of projects because of COVID and the pandemic. But last Wednesday on the stream, I put together the rig. So we got the camera, but the rig stuff was back ordered for 2 months. So finally, our first project where it was time to put the whole rig together. So on last week's stream on Wednesday, I had already built it the night before, so I broke it all down and I put it back together. And then 2 days later, on Friday, I did a music video. Me and my business partner, Cody. My fiance came to help out. It was a music video for a person called Alejandra. She goes by the music name of Agent Envy. So I should put a thing on here somewhere, but Agent Envy, agent.envy on the Instagram. So you can go there and check out her work. But what I figured I would do is, we got we shot the music. I have not even looked at any of the footage yet. I mean, I was there. I remember filming it, but I haven't looked at any of the footage. So I think what we're going to do is together, I'm going to go through the footage, just kind of look at it, talk about the shots. I don't know if that's something that's going to take the whole stream, so I think we'll do it maybe for the first hour, maybe more. I don't know. We did shoot about an hour and a half of footage, so I guess I could do it for an hour and a half. But I don't think we're going to go through every single frame. We'll just kind of skim through it, take a look at it. I'll talk about it. And yeah, you get to see sort of behind the scenes of the music video. The song is a cover of a Deftones song, My Own Summer. You won't really hear it too well because I'm only just going to be doing it out of my computer. You're not going to hear the direct audio. It's a lot of me talking, giving direction and stuff. So that should be fun. Yeah, so we'll go through the footage, and I think if we don't do the full, if that doesn't take up the full stream, then what we'll do is maybe halfway through, I'll take a break. We'll pause for a minute. I'll put up the BRB. I'll put up the Be Right Back, this thing right here. I'll put up Picard. And what I would have to do is do some changing. I'll have to, behind the scenes, I'm going to have to like switch things around because I have a different setup right now. Right now, I have my Macintosh outputting to my PC. So I'm going to be looking at all the footage on my Mac because all of the footage are on hard drives that are formatted for the Mac. I'm going to have to figure out transferring the footage to a hard drive that can fit it all, so I can edit it on the PC because my PC is the more powerful computer. If I look over here, let's see. I want to see how much data it is. It's 700 gigabytes, so it's pretty big. I mean, that's not all. That's. I probably won't be editing on that, but I'll be editing on the proxy. So 25 gigabytes. So what's cool is the Canon C200, the camera that we own. It shoots in like a RAW mode, so it's basically almost uncompressed footage, which is like ideal for doing high quality filmmaking because in post-production and color grading you could really make it look awesome and really have a lot of play, a lot of latitude with the color correction and the grading and making it look really good. If you shoot on something that's compressed, the data is not there to manipulate with. So what's cool is the camera has two different kinds of memory card slots and two different kinds of ways to shoot it. So it has the one memory card slot that uses C2 fast cards. They're about this big. I don't have one near me. But that's the memory card slot that records in RAW. And a half hour of footage in RAW is 256 gigabytes. It's a half hour. So we shot 3 cards, almost 3 full cards, so about an hour and a half of footage. So it was about 675 gigs for an hour and a half. But what's really cool is at the same time it's recording the RAW, it's also recording into a SD card, which I also don't have. I mean, it looks like this. It's not this card, but this is an SD card. So it's recording at the same time into the SD card slot, but a much more compressed, smaller file size as a proxy. And what you do usually is you edit with the proxy footage, because otherwise your computer, depending on the computer, but the computer is going to slow down. You're working with such big, robust files that, like, if you're trying to just edit it together, as fast as you can, the computer's gonna have a tough time if you're using like really raw shit. So what we'll probably end up doing is editing with the proxy footage, getting the edit, and then when it's time to color correct and color grade, relink the raw footage with the edit that we have. So the edit will be made, but then you will literally just like on the back end swap out the proxy footage for the raw footage, and then boom, now you have the exact edit, but now it's connected to the raw footage. And then you I think you send that to DaVinci, which is what Cody does. I have to ask him like how he needs me to deliver it to him. But Cody, my business partner, will take it into DaVinci and do color correction. DaVinci is a program called DaVinci Resolve. Some people edit in it. I know a viewer of the stream, Lisa, actually edits in DaVinci Resolve. If you go to my first stream ever, I fix a problem that she had with DaVinci, which is really funny. It's actually the nugget too. So yeah, so then in DaVinci we'll do the color correction, and then I think the final export from there, and then it's over. So yeah, and we love the C200. We shot a live music video with 3 C200s last year, all on RAW. So it was 3 cameras. It was like all day. They did like 6 songs, multiple takes of each song. So I think at the end of the day, all of the footage was around 4 terabytes, maybe a little over 4 terabytes of footage. It's a lot to deal with, but it's awesome. I mean, the camera's a good camera. It's pretty pricey, but it's not like super pricey. So to be able to have RAW is pretty awesome. So, I think that's all the setup I have for today. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the music video. So I guess I'll give you a little setup in terms of the music video, like idea and stuff. Also, we were going to do this music video a long time, like 2 months ago, I think, like in April or even May. But because of COVID, it kept getting pushed and pushed, and we ended up doing it on the 19th. And we were still wearing masks and being as conscious as we can of hand sanitizer and, you know, trying not to breathe on each other. Stormzy, hey, thanks for coming into the chat. Should be popping up down here on the chat, but I don't see it. Twitch chat, YouTube chat, so it was turned off. I was having problems with the chat last week. The same chat kept like popping up, so I don't know what was happening. So I kind of deleted everything, and apparently I had the YouTube chat off. So to test it, I'm gonna say hi. Hi. Let's see, will it pop up? There it is. Okay, so sorry, I had it turned off. Hi Stormzy. So if you're just joining, what I'm gonna do is instead of editing today, I'm going through some music video footage that we shot on the C200 on Friday. I haven't even looked at it yet. I mean, I shot it, I was there, but I haven't even looked at it yet. So I'm not going to edit it. I can't edit it really because I want to edit it on my my PC, and I need to transfer the footage to a working hard drive to work on it, and I haven't done that yet. So right now I have the Mac in Tosh. I have my MacBook hooked up to the output from the Mac going to my PC, which is like weird. It's funny to have the two talking to each other. So what we'll do is we'll just I'm just going to go through the footage like clip by clip, maybe talk about it a little bit, explain what was happening. I just get into editing videos in Adobe Premiere. Awesome. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be doing this for the whole stream. I think once I get through the footage, I'm going to take a break. I'll BRB, and I'll switch the camera. I'll switch the setup back to editing, and we'll hop back into editing Tell Us Damn It, this show that me and Cody had did last year. So if you want more Adobe Premiere stuff, just stay tuned for a little bit later in the stream. But for right now, I have it set up to go through footage. So right now, I'm just gonna do that. So I was gonna talk a little bit about the music video and the concept. That way, you're looking at it and you're not it's like, well, what the heck is this about? So the song is "My Own Summer" by the Deftones, and it's very strange and kind of low energy and creepy, which is cool. It's like that's the vibe, and I don't think I helped too much on the concept. It's 3:30 a.m. for me, and I'm watching editing because it's fun. That's cool. I'm sorry I'm not editing right now, Stormzy, but I will be editing later. Or I edit last week, the Monday stream. That one was like all editing. So if you want to go back and watch the replay, you can go to youtube.com/rethinkfilms and go to last week's Monday stream, and that is 2 hours and a half of editing. So you can hop in there. But if you hang around here long enough, we'll get to editing here as well if I get through the footage. So the concept, I don't forget. It's basically all her. So the musician, the artist, her name is Agent Envy. Instagram agent.envy. I'll type it into the chat too. So her IG is agent.envy. So you can go there, follow her, listen to her music. A good friend of mine is producing and engineering her album, and that's how we met. He was like, hey, my buddy does film, so you should do your music video with him. So that was awesome. And his name's Richie Beretta. He's on Twitch as well. I'll put his name in the chat too. I think it's 1R. Yeah, so go follow Richie too on Twitch and all that. Your chat is only delayed on stream. It just came out. Yeah, the chat is a little delayed. Yeah, no, that's there's nothing I can do about that. I have all the settings for the chat on the like the lowest latency possible so that it is as quick as possible. So the chat coming up is as fast as it's going to be, unfortunately. I'm sorry about that. Because I see the chat and then it pops up, but then it takes a few seconds for that to broadcast. So you're seeing the chat a few seconds later in the actual stream. Well, you shouldn't have skill for everything. Well, yeah, it's tough. Streaming's tough. My background is filming, cinematography, editing, directing. Streaming was a whole new world, but we're getting there. So, the concept of the music video is it's all like taking place like basically in her head. And the video starts and she's tied in a chair. And that's the whole video. She's just tied in a chair. At a certain part, she breaks free, but she never leaves the chair. She's just comfortable being in the chair. And then it gets a little weird. There's going to be a lighting effect. And then she ties herself back up almost like magically, like the ropes tie herself up. We're going to do like a reverse shot, like a horror movie. And that's it. So it's like she's in the chair. She breaks out. She kind of moves around and has like this weird sort of avant-garde part, and then she's tied up again. And that was it. So it was a little bit challenging to keep the video interesting. So we had to come up with like interesting shots, interesting, angles, and also thinking about coverage, getting the wide, the medium, the tight so that we can edit it. And then also shots of the environment. The environment was really cool. We were able to shoot in this sort of abandoned gymnasium in a church in Brooklyn. It was really cool. So there's actually I should plug them too. Let me see. Where is that? So yeah, I'll type that in the chat as well. So this is the location. Gymnopedie.nyc. GYMNOPEDIE.NYC. That was the location there. It's cool. It was a church in Brooklyn, and inside the church there were multiple places, but the main jam was the gymnasium. And you'll see, we're going to go through the footage. So we've basically shot in there. Big location, no windows, or there were windows, but they were all blacked out, so we were able to like have control over the lighting. And it was cool. In the ceiling there were 4 rows of lights, and when we went in there, the 2 middle rows of lights, there were 8 lights that were daylight balanced, and then the side 8 were tungsten. And what I did was, we went on a location scout weeks before. I looked at it and I was like, okay, I'm probably going to need to switch out those bulbs. So that's the first thing we did when I got there was got the ladder. They had a ladder there. And I went and I changed out all the light bulbs that were daylight and made them tungsten. And then I also went to Lowe's and bought a light with a little metal sort of shade on it. And that is what, and then I had a little adapter. So you plug, it's like a light bulb socket on one end and you screw it into a light bulb socket and it becomes just a plug. So I had a light bulb, like a lamp socket that was just into a cable that gets plugged in. And so we plugged that into the ceiling and then just let that light hang down low. Tested out the light, I had multiple bulbs to see like which brightness we needed. First I started with the 150 watt bulb, and then I was like, you know what, this is actually too bright in comparison to the background, so I swapped it for the next lowest bulb. And that was basically the lighting all day. It was just that one bulb hanging there, and then the other lights. Hey, Boulevard Bullies, hosting the stream. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you for doing that. Hopefully I'll get some more people in here. That'd be great. Do you pay for the program every month that you edit? Yes, we have Adobe Creative Cloud. So we pay the monthly payment for like the whole creative suite. A Premiere, Photoshop, Media Encoder, Lightroom. There's so many. Illustrator. There's like a million. Yeah, we pay the thing. Because that's what we do for a living, and we make enough money to be able to pay for it. Stock is one. Yeah. So what else? So the gymnasium was really cool. And so I was just talking about the lighting. And so, yeah, do you think that it's worth like $60 or $80? I don't think so. Absolutely, it's worth it. the cool thing about it is interesting. Like everything's moving to a subscription base now. So it would be nice to just pay the money and like own the software. But we live in a world now where a new camera comes out, a new codec comes out, a new phone has a new codec, and your software doesn't work. So you'd have to like either pay for an update or just like wait for them to like update it. So the cool thing about having the Creative Cloud is that it keeps you up to date. It's automatically updating. So you don't have to worry about like a new camera coming out and your software doesn't accommodate the codec that it shoots in. So that's really cool. Plus, at least with we have the Creative Suite. So it's like I use Photoshop all the time, Premiere every day. So for me, we do it professionally. We need these tools to be able to do our business. So, it's worth the money for that. We have an office. We don't use it a lot because at the moment because of COVID, but we have an office, so we have to pay rent for that. Is it 22.6? Right now it is here in New York. I'm in New York. It's still the 22nd, 6 p.m. Or I guess 6, so 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. It's 18:20. It's 18:22 right now. The time is 18:22. Richard, student-teacher discount is good. Yeah, I mean, we're not either at the moment. I don't know if you can count a live stream as a teacher. One day I would like to be doing teaching at my alma mater. I actually was putting together a course on streaming before COVID happened. But maybe when they start to have classes again, I can put together the syllabus and see if they can want to do a course on streaming. Yeah. So Richard, if you're just joining, what I'm going to do is I'm talking about a music video that my company shot for someone named Agent Envy. Agent.envy is the IG. And we're going to go through the footage. Shot it on the C200 in RAW, but also recorded proxy. So I'm going to be going through the proxy footage because it's going to just be easier on the computer to view. So what you're looking at is not really the RAW. It's going to be the proxy. And I'm just going to talk about it. So right now, as you were coming in, I was talking about the location and the concept. Basically, she's tied up in a chair, then she breaks out, and then she ties herself back up in the chair. And it's all in her head. It's like all a mental landscape type thing. We shot in a abandoned gymnasium, which is a really cool location. Your subs are not active because you have 80K subs and 7 watching, right? They are not active, no. My subs are not active, and I wish they were. Because it's cool to boast and say I have 80,000 subs, but, like, where are they? Where are they? I think it's because a lot of them are old. Like, I have YouTube videos that are, like, 8 years old that have over 1 million views. And I just think, like, I garnered a lot of subscribers from, like, 8 years ago, but, like, either they grew up or they don't care anymore or they don't go on YouTube or died or something. I don't know. It's weird. But I agree, Stormzy. I don't know where they all are. I wish they'd come in, so whatever. But yeah, so I guess let's just get into it. Let us get into the footage watching. 1 million views, that's my dream, but I have 40 for one. Yeah, that sucks. Don't get your hopes up. It was luck for me. I just got lucky, I think. But yeah, just keep doing it. Try to make something that's like valuable, something that someone would want to watch. Like the video that has over 1 million views of mine is just like a 3-point lighting tutorial. It's like day 1 film school, you know? So if you have anything that you can offer in terms of a tutorial, well, I am 11, so kind of annoying. Yeah, well, what are you going to do? Maybe you can teach some people how to play Roblox, because I don't know anything about Roblox, but I hear that's what all the kids are into these days. Do you play Roblox? Used to be that 11-year-olds were into Minecraft. Now all the Minecraft kids grew up. So nowadays it's Roblox. That's the newest thing. Well, anyway, let's get into the music video. So first thing, we'll go into here we are. Here's my computer. Well, I played it in 2011 till 2017. Then I played Fortnite. Wait, you're 11 now. So, if you're 11 now, that means you were born in 2009? Right? 2010, 20. So, 09. So, 2010, 2011. So, you played Roblox when you were 2? Is that what you're saying? That's... Maybe you can play it when you're 2. I don't know. Okay. So, here we are. Check. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. So here's all the actual footage. So this is what it looks like. So when you have the card, it's just called CRM, CRM, and then it's Reel 1. And then these are all the files. I guess it's Canon Raw Media. I don't know. And see, I named it Envy. And look, my computer can't even, like, read these files. I suppose that'll be for DaVinci. But look at these. Yeah, they're big files, like 3.4 gigs. And then, so anyway, so then there's card 3, card 2, card 3. And then here's the proxy. I just took in the whole thing. So proxy, let's just see. So here's the first clip there. But let's just see. So A001, C001. Let's just take a look at this. A001, C001. Boom. 12 gigs. This file is 12 gigs. It's a big file. And then the proxy, let's say it's 13. Let's round it up and let's say it's 13. The proxy is 475 megabytes. Let's just say 500. So, 14 gigabytes divided by 500 megabytes is 28. So that means that the proxy file is 28 times smaller than the raw file. 28 times smaller. Or I could say that the raw file is 28 times larger. That's crazy. That means that file is very robust. Well, I played... my brother was teaching me, but I was smashing the keyboard. Gotcha. Bro, your memory is like a lot of terabytes. Like, what? So, yeah, these hard drives that I have in here are 2 terabytes. Whoops. 2 terabytes, yeah. Everything, all 3 cards plus the proxy footage is 700 gigs. It's a lot of footage. It's how much you deal with when you're doing this professionally. So, we kind of just shot the music video in order of the song. Excuse me. We just kind of went through the sections of the song. You know, we didn't like do a lot of things out of order. It's mostly in order of the song. So the first clips of the first thing that happens in the video is that she's in the chair and she's passed out. And the first thing that happens is she kind of comes to like that. She kind of like rolls her head and like wakes up and like comes to. And then she starts to test out the restraints. So the first shot we did, in the video, the first things you're going to see are details, close-ups of stuff as the song starts. So I guess we just decided to go with close-ups of her wrists. So we're going to start there. I'm going to do it with QuickTime. How do you make this full screen? Shift Command F. Shift Command F. Nope. Is it Alt Command F? Nope. Control Command F? Nope. What the heck is this? What is this? That's Shift. So it's not Alt, it's not Control, it's not... Is it Function? Function? Oh, I need to do that. I didn't mean to do that. I want to figure this out. Function, Command F? Okay, so that little caret is function. Gotcha. All right.
Speeding. I'm rolling. But, so just keep it as you are now. And then whenever you're ready, you can just start doing your whole thing in your brain.
So this was on, I don't remember what lens it was on, but fairly wide open. I think it was 800 ISO. The f-stop was pretty wide open.
Can you
F2.
try to pull your arm up? Give me 1 second. Start over again. Yeah, go for it. Yeah. Do it a couple of times. Like that. Just give me a second. Ready. Nice.
So you'll notice that the shot is pretty flat looking, so there isn't a lot of contrast or saturation. That's what the camera records in when it's raw. So, yeah, obviously it'll be affected later. We're going to color grade it. My PC is gaming, but I have 195 in local disk, but 102 in like what gaming said about F11. Did you wear a mask while doing this? No, we did, Stormzy. We wore masks. We were trying to be as conscious as possible of, you know, everything that's been going on. So yes, we definitely all wore masks. Yeah.
One where your wrist is like.
So I'm getting, like, in the sequence, it's going to be like, you know, close up of her unconscious hand. Then it's going to be like her face, or then her like ankles, or like and then the gymnasium, you know, things like that. And but in recording just this one angle, I wanted the whole sequence. I wanted, you know, nothing, testing, and then really struggling, and then dropping. And then I'll cut back to that whenever I need it. So I'm just getting a lot of options.
More, yeah. Good. Okay, I'm gonna do one more time just like that. Action.
So I was adding a little bit of a camera move there.
Nice. Okay, cool.
That looked cool. So I added a little bit of a camera move to add to the tension, add to the horror aspect of it. All right, cool. Oh, it went away because I hit some dumb buttons before. All right, what's the next shot? So I think it's the same thing, just a different angle.
Speeding. Just do the same action. Actually, sorry, from the beginning. Going to action.
Oh, I see. You see this here? This is a mistake. That is the cable for the viewfinder getting in the way. Damn, I hope I fixed that. I guess it's not really noticeable. It might even add like a little weird kind of flary type of element. But that's annoying.
Cool, I like that.
Plus, I don't even necessarily need to use that shot. The whole thing with shooting the music video, shooting anything, is getting enough so that you can, like, you have enough options of different things so that, like, if you don't want to, like, have one shot that, like, you're reliant on, you know. What picture profile do you prefer for Canon C200? Canon log. I think that's what it is. And, like, in Sony, it's called, like, S-Log 3. This might even be... I have the camera inside. I could look. I'm pretty sure it's called Canon log. It might be called Canon log 3. But that's your like, your raw... Why is that happening? That's your raw picture profile that you want to use. You guys 5 watching, are you like in University like old? Stormzy, where are you from? I'm curious because sometimes you say things that might just be because English is your second language, which is fine, but I'm just curious. And you also said it was like midnight where you are, which means you're, I don't know, Spain, Portugal, something like that. Somewhere over in Europe, maybe. Macedonia. That's super cool. Where the hell is Macedonia? Is that like near Greece? I'm looking that up. Macedonia. Go. North Macedonia. Yeah, it's just north of Greece. Just north of Greece, east of Albania, west of Bulgaria. That's cool. You deserve to see it. That's really cool. Well, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for staying up. If you're 11, it's past your bedtime, I'm sure. Martin, hey man, good to see you. When you go into a project like this, what are your expectations? My expectations. Well, I expect that when I am... Well, when you say go into a project like this, like right now, I'm going into looking at the footage. So my expectations are that I will find things that I'm not happy with, things that I screwed up on. In fact, one of them's in the second clip ever. There's already a thing there. I'm expecting that I'm going to find things that are cool, things that I'm proud of, things that I kind of want to make a mental note of and definitely use that shot. And I'm expecting it to look good because I was there and I shot it and I think it looked good. So that's what I'm expecting. But when you go into a project like this, when I go into a project like starting off on a music video project, what are my expectations? What do I expect? That's a good question. I expect the person that I am dealing with to be professional. I expect them to be respectful and polite. I expect them to I expect them to have some sort of passion about what they do. In this case, that they're a musician. This is what they do. So I kind of expect passion there. I would be surprised if they were like, yeah, I don't like what I'm doing, but here's a music video. Let's do it and get it over with so I can finish this shit up. That's unexpected. You know? What else do I expect? I expect it to be a lot of work. I expect it's going to be a lot of work. And I expect that the person that I am doing business with doesn't realize how much work it will be. That's pretty much, I expect that. It's usually a case where I'm going to have to explain how much work and how there's nothing simple about it, nothing easy about it. And you know, all of the decisions and all of the things that we need to sort of talk about are very important. I expect them to not have the knowledge I have, because that's just true. I don't have knowledge they have. I don't know a damn thing about making an album. I know a little bit about writing music, and like I know music because I'm a musician, but like I don't know, you know, music theory very well. Take care, Stormzy. Thanks for tuning in. Get some sleep. Subscribe. Subscribe to YouTube. Very, very true, says Martin. Just point and shoot, don't you? Yeah, you know, it's like it happens a lot. Like I expect people to not understand what goes into it because, you know, most people don't. You know, I have to explain it to them in a nice way. I stubbed and turned notifications on. I'm light. Sweet. Thanks, Stormzy. Spread the word. I talk about filmmaking. Thank you so much. And editing. I edit too. Lewis Holland, your work ethic and positivity is inspiring. Thanks. Keep it up. Thanks, Lewis. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining. It's always a little scary to start a stream and like no one's around, no one's watching. So you guys talking to me in chat is really cool and really awesome. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep going through the footage. Gonna try to burn through it, but I'm trying to finish the thought on the expectations that Martin asked. Yeah, I expect them to not have really any understanding. How often do the end video results meet or exceed your expectations? I'd say pretty often. I have low expectations. I try to keep my expectations low. You know, like if I go into a project expecting that it's going to be good, I'm not going to do as good of work. I'm not going to respect the work, you know. It's very hard, demanding work. The shoot, this music video shoot was a 12-hour shoot. It's 12 hours long. I haven't been that sore in a long time. So like the next day I was like dead, you know. But I've worked on jobs where it was like multiple 12-hour days in a row. So it's like you just got to get up and keep going. It's physically taxing. It's a lot of physical labor to do this. Especially when it's on a budget and there's not a lot of a crew. You can't afford the crew. So what you know, if there was a lot more of a budget, then you could afford more people, and then everyone has less work to do. So what you're doing is when at this kind of a lower budget is you're shouldering more of the work, and so you have to ask yourself like, okay, well, how much? You know, somebody comes to you with a music video idea, and it's like, you know, here's what I want to do. It's like, okay, I think we can do this in one day. And it's like, well, okay, and knowing like how physically taxing it is, how much is that worth to me at my age, at my knowledge level, at my expertise level? And then of course there's the editing too. You got to think about the editing. So luckily the budget was good enough for this. It is definitely not, you know, it's definitely, I would say, a little less than half of what I would love to have or be excited to have. This was a little bit less than half of that, but it's still worth it, especially since everything that's been going on. And so I think we all wanted to do it. Music videos never have a big budget, you know, unless you're really working with like record labels and stuff. So the fact that there was really any money at all was like nice and refreshing. And it was just at the threshold where it was like, okay, yeah, this is worth it. Well, let's do this. And like I know I'm going to be proud of it. I know at the end of the day I'm going to be proud of the video when it's done. Did your producer have a clear vision for the video? No. There was no clear vision. There wasn't even a clear vision going into the shooting day. You can get away with that with a music video, especially this type of music video. This is a very avant-garde, experimental, mental landscape type music video. And so we had a game plan, we had shots, we had sort of a story. But in terms of like getting what we need and solving problems and figuring out like creative decisions on the fly, that's what we did. We did it on the fly. So nobody really had a clear vision, but this project didn't necessarily call for like a really clear vision, you know. A clear vision would be like if there was more of a script, more of a little bit more of a clearer story involved. Then we would need like storyboards and a shot list, and we've done shoots like that. You need those things, you know, and like checking off the boxes during the day. This one was a little bit more on the fly, off the cuff, coming up with creative solutions in the moment. And honestly, sometimes that's beneficial to have to have a project like that, because having limitations and being there in the moment and having limited time, limited equipment, limited lighting, limited energy, it requires creative solutions. Is it something that I would trust anyone besides me and my business partner to do? Not really, because you can have people in a situation where you need to make creative decisions and not have the experience needed to know that we're safe. You know, you need to come up with creative solutions, but you also need to be safe. By safe, I mean like You want to make sure that we're shooting the video in like sections. So we need to get like this much of the one section, but then when we film the next section, film a little bit of the previous section to have a little bit of an overlap. You also need like wide, medium, tight shots so we can cut between them all. So it's about having, I have a lot of experience, doing stuff like this, and I've had a lot of headaches getting the footage back, looking at it, starting to edit it, and realizing there's a whole gap that we didn't shoot. There's a couple of, shots that we never got. And if we were going to have to go back and film some shots that we didn't get, she would have to rent the space again. She would have to get more. It would just be a whole big production again to get everyone together to go get some shots that we didn't shoot. What if her hair grew? What if she decided she wanted to dye her hair pink? And then like 2 days later, I go, hey, we need to do a reshoot and shoot some stuff. I was like, well, my hair's pink now, or I shaved my head. My computer went to sleep. So it behooves me to be safe and get what I need, so that way I'm saving her money, and then she's happy, and then she can come back in 6 months and do another video. Missed shots, are they called pickups? Yes, they are called pickups. Sometimes in some projects you build in a pickup day. That's if there's budget. That's if you have a budget. We're gonna do an 8-hour day here, and then the next day will be for pickups. Anything we missed, or just smaller shots that we don't need the full crew for. Some people also call it, a second unit. So a second unit in a film would be the people who go out and film all like exterior shots. Like, in a movie, there might be a scene where 2 actors are in a diner, and it's Johnny Depp and Jeff Bridges, and you're in the scene and you're talking, blah, blah, blah. But in the movie, the scene opens up with an exterior shot of the diner. Maybe it's a really nice shot. Maybe it's a crane shot. Maybe it's a drone shot. It sets the location. Here we are, we're in a diner. You see the whole diner. Maybe a truck's pulling in, and you see the diner. Then it cuts and we're inside and we're with Jeff and Johnny. That shot of the exterior could have been done at a completely different day with a completely different crew. You know what I mean? That's usually second unit. They'll get maybe they'll get different versions of the shot, different options, Maybe they'll have another location exterior to go shoot the next day. So, Stormzy's back on the phone. Andy Hayes, when you copied the footage off the CFast card, did you only need to copy the footage or the whole file structure on the card? Just to play it safe, I copy the whole file structure. I'll show you. Oops. So when I copied the proxy footage, this is what is in the root folder here. And when I this folder I made, can I do this? Let's see. Oh, nice. So this folder I just made, and this is what you see when you double click the card. So I just dropped the whole thing in, just to be safe. I don't think it matters, but it doesn't hurt to just drop the whole file structure in as it is. But I don't think it's necessary. It used to be back in the day when the NLE, by NLE I mean non-linear editor, or any program. It used to be that like it wanted to see the file structure, like it could only do what it needed to do by seeing the file structure, but I don't think that's a thing anymore. Proxy folder. So before I was explaining how this is the raw footage here. These are the clips. The proxy is duplications of all the clips, but much more compressed. So the camera shoots in the CFast 2 card in RAW, but it records, simultaneously into the SD card in a much more compressed file. So look, the first clip is a 12 gigabyte file. This is the raw file. This is the raw footage. 12 gigs, 13 gigs. The proxy, the duplicate, the same file name, is 500 megabytes. So that's, I did the math before, that's 28 times smaller, which is crazy. So what we're going to do is we use these clips to edit off of. And we'll do the whole edit using the proxy. And then at the end, once we reach picture lock and we're going to start color grading, we relink the raw. So we swap out the footage that the computer is reading from the proxy to the raw. And that way you can edit it without too much strain on the computer. And then when you do the color correction, you're now color grading the raw footage, which is pretty cool. I don't think you need to do the whole thing. Sounds like you can cut those proxy files with a pretty old laptop. You would think they're still in 4K though, so they may be much more compressed, but they're still 4K. So an older laptop still probably wouldn't be of use. Let's move on. Let's move to this one. I'm gonna go like that. Let's look at the inspector. So what does this say? So it's H.264, that's the proxy. It has 4 tracks of audio. Oh, it's not in 4K. Okay, it's in 2K. That's cool. So the raw footage shoots in 4K, which is not UHD. UHD is 3840 by 2160. But the raw footage shoots in like standard DCI 4K, which is 4096 lines this way by 2160 up and down, or from top to bottom. So the proxy down reses it to H.264 codec, and it down reses it to 2K. So normal HD, full HD, is 1920 by 1080. 2K is 2048 by 1080, so it's slightly wider. It's a slightly wider frame. Or if you were to drop it into a 16 by 9 frame, it would be a wider shot but in a smaller frame, so it would have letterbox on the top and bottom, slight letterbox on the top and bottom. Looks like it scales it down to 1920. It does not scale it down to 1920. It scales it down to 2048. Slight difference, but it scales it down to 1080, but it's a little bit wider. It's not 1920, it's 2048. That's what you call 2K. There's HD, which is 1280 by 720, I think. That's HD. There's full HD, which is 1920 by 1080. There's 2K, which is 2048 by 1080. There's UHD, ultra high definition, which is 3860 or 3840 by 2160. And then there's 4K, which is 4096 by 2160. Then there's 5K, 6K, and all that stuff, but like there aren't TVs to look at that stuff yet. Yeah. We shot it at 24 frames a second. Current size is 1920, but the current size is 1920 because that's the size of my monitor. The actual size of the file is 2048. So here's another angle, and it looks like I fixed that cable thing. I don't know if you can even see it on your screen, but you can see the compression. Like, I don't know if you could see this, but you see right here? There's a gradient in the levels there. So it goes from a brighter and it grades to darker here. But because it's so compressed, you can see all these artifacts. It's artifacting here. If you can see it better. Artifacting here, artifacting here, artifacting there. You can see that. In the raw, that is not there. In the raw, it is a nice, beautiful grade. I don't know if that's popping up on your screen, but I can see it on mine. So let's take a look at this shot. So I did a different angle of this wrist.
Still speeding. Let's do it one more time.
So if you didn't see the if you didn't hear me talk about the concept,
No,
it's all in her mind. She wakes up, she's tied in a chair. Eventually she breaks free of the constraints, but stays in the chair. And then, after a weird sort of part, she ties herself back up, or the ropes kind of tie her back up magically. And then at the end she passes out again. So we end where we began. So this is just getting all sorts of coverage of her being tied up.
I'm in full limp again, or just like, yeah. That's good, yeah. Cool. All right, cutting out. All right, I think I got all the...
Cool. Let's go to the next clip.
Okay, speeding, go for it.
So once again, I'm
Keep going.
pretty sure. I don't think I was on the other lens. I think I was on my 1635, and I was at 2.8 f2.8. How was she about being tied up? She was actually pretty awesome. She had her friends there, her friends Blaine and Lydia, and they were great, and they helped tie her up. And then, like, she needed, like, her head scratched or a sip of water. They were there. So that was cool. It was really nice having her friends there to help out. Andy says, are you sending an EDL to Resolve and then link the raw files? I think so. I actually don't know the full process. Cody's the one who's going to be doing... Cody, my business partner, he was there during the shoot. He works in Resolve. He color grades in Resolve. He knows the protocol more than me. He's done it before on a bunch of projects that we've done. I've never had to do it, so I'll have to ask him. That's one reason why I'm also not editing it right now. I'm just kind of going through it. This is my first time seeing the footage also, by the way, on a screen. I shot it on Friday, but I haven't looked at it till now. It looks good. I mean, it's, I'm looking at the proxy, so I can see the compression bands and the gradations, but still looks pretty friggin' good. I'm very pleased with how it looks. I'm trying to remember like what lens this was on. But yeah, I think that's how it works. Either it's an EDL or it's an XML or something. Martin, does producer get raw as well as the finished footage? Sorry, more interested in the filmmaking process. No, that's fine. It depends on the project. Most of the time, if a client asks for raw footage, we charge a fee. And the fee, we looked it up. We were like, what do we charge? And it seems that the standard convention is a percentage of the total budget. So if it was a $50,000 video, you might want to charge 10%, so it'd be $10,000 for the raw footage. Or you could just do a flat fee. Obviously, you'd rather not have your client buy or have the raw footage because, it's your baby. It's the thing you made and you're proud of it, and you want to edit it and you want to put something out there. You don't want to film something and then have somebody else edit it and give theirs. Let there be a chance that they're gonna fuck it up. Excuse my French, but so it would just be so, it would hurt artistically. It would hurt to like give some footage to someone and then see them edit it, or go to somebody else to edit it and then see it and be like, oh no, why did they do that? And it's like, now I don't want to promote it. I don't want to share it anymore because it looks like crap. So ideally we try to like not, if they ask, we try to say like, well, that's not normal, and plus like we're going to lose money if they don't want to edit with us at all. And it's like, we're going to take the raw footage, then it's definitely going to be a fee, There are certain situations where it's not. Where if it's a lower budget, if it's more of an artistic project, and, they don't have a lot of money, and it's like, I can't afford whatever. I can't afford to do the editing, but, like, I'll edit it myself. Okay, that's fine. Not a big deal. But for bigger budget stuff with, like, bigger companies, where it's like, there's a budget there, then it's like, we charge for it. I think we charge, like, 10%. Of the total budget, and if that doesn't make sense, then we'll do a flat fee, depending on the budget. I'm keeping this here because I am. No, good questions though. Good questions. Let's see what this shot is.
Again. One more time. Let's get, let me get one more. Cool.
Yeah, so I'll probably use, obviously if I'm going to use that shot, I'm only going to use one pump. Or I'll use a part where she's limp like this, or in the middle of a thing and then letting go. I don't know yet, so it's better to have all the different options there. Obviously I'm only going to use one, but you want to film lots of options. Excuse me. Now we're going to do the other wrist.
Nice. Cool.
All right. Be nice if there was more, but whatever. These are her ankles.
Okay. I am rolling, so whenever you're ready. A little bit of a side to side, like not side to side, but like up and down, like yeah, like you're trying to get your foot out of it.
Was I directing? Yeah. I mean, yeah, I was directing too. Cody was also directing, and like this was the kind of thing. There was like there was a lot of people there, and everyone's kind of. It was all experimentation, but yeah, in terms of just like what is happening in the shot, I had the camera and I was filming, so I was just like, go side to side, release this, do this, clench, release, clench, take a breath, look to the left, that's directing, I guess. She didn't really need any more like directing in terms of like emotion or performance. She sort of had in her own head what she was going to do. And it worked. It was reading well, so I didn't really feel like she needed any more, like, think about when you were a child and you wanted that ice cream and your mother said no. Go there. I didn't really need to do that. Plus, that's not unless they're like a method actor, that I don't know if that would work. Also, like, we didn't want to... I'm sort of staying pretty close up on just the rope here because we didn't want to. This is going to be a quick shot anyway. We obviously are understanding of the sort of darker sides of the themes that are happening here, and we're trying to keep it more mental. That she did this to herself, and so I didn't want to do any kind of suggestive shots. So this was just like ropes, struggle, and let's get out. Let's move on. Is she related to the music or just an actor in the video? This is Agent Envy. So who you're seeing right now is the musician. She is the singer. She is the musician. It's her music. It's her brand. I'll type her name in the chat again. But if you want to check her out, her IG is agent.envy. Whoops. Yeah. All right, now you get to see a little bit more of her.
You can just see what it kind of looks like. And hey, it might work in the frame too. It might work in the film too. Oh, the staircase in the back looks awesome. Okay.
So I just did a shot of that to then show her, because we didn't have a monitor that we could like walk around and look at. Obviously, it'd be nice to have a monitor. For the most part, I'd like to have a monitor on set, but we would have had to have rented one. It would have cost more money. It would have been time-consuming on set to like plug it in, get the wire going to it, and on top of that, like I was doing Steadicam, which you'll see soon. And to have another piece of equipment to like hide and then bring back and then hide and then bring back, it just would have been not cool. Martin, what's the time scale for first finished proof edit? You mean like rough cut? And then like second cut and stuff? Is that what you mean? Andy Hayes. Tom Adams did a review on a wireless monitoring solution you might want to look at. It allows you to monitor the image on an iPhone or iPad. That's cool. I actually got an email asking to like try one out. I get a lot of emails. Rethink gets a lot of emails from like people trying to like get us to do like a review, like a product review. But a lot of them are like, oh, just buy it on Amazon first and then we'll refund you. And I'm like, no, just send it to me. You know, like give me a break. But yeah, I've heard of that. That's pretty cool. I do think that would be helpful, but even for a situation like this, like, I don't know. I don't know how helpful it would have been. There also is like a transmitter involved, and since I was doing Steadicam, that would have been extra weight, and I don't know how much that is, because even just getting it on the camera, I would have to get like an articulating arm, and that's more weight. So one of the things about this shoot was keeping the camera as light as possible for the glide cam. It's actually Tom Antos. Oh, that's cool. Martin, yes. Timescale to Ruffcut, yes. She asked me today, she's like, when do you think the video will be done? I was like, well, I think it won't take me more than a month. And that's soup to nuts. So, I'd like to have a rough cut in like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, maybe more, maybe 3 weeks, and then the rest can just be polishing, and then color grade. I think it'll probably take a little longer than a month, unfortunately, which sucks. But I think in a month we'll be close. But I really want to push for it being soup to nuts done 1 month from now. It'd be just nice to get it out, be done with it. Plus, like, our July is pretty slow, which sucks, but I got nothing else to do. All right, let's keep going. So this shot was, once again, a shot that I just showed her so that she could see what like she kind of looks like. Let's move on. Oh, I think this is where she breaks out. I could be wrong. Oh, no. Okay, so this is just limp in the chair. This is... I got that as to be safe, because before she was like limp and then like woke up and then blah, blah, blah. But I wasn't sure if I had enough of just close-up of limp. Soup to nuts? Soup to nuts is a euphemism that means completed, complete, from beginning to end, from head to toe. From beginning to end, from heads to tails. Soup to nuts. I don't know where it comes from, but that is it's a euphemism that just means like all of it. From A to Z. I guess I was doing another angle there. Same thing. Cool. I mean, I'm glad I did that. Oh yeah, this was just something I had, an idea I had while I was there. I was just like, give me one little twitch.
Can you just give me like the ever so slight twitch of your middle finger? That's cool. Oh, it's your pointer. Hang on one sec.
I was like, oh, it's your pointer finger.
Little subtle. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was cool. Will I use it? I don't know. Just another close-up. Oh, cool. Going from the rope. I missed it. So we're going rope. Yeah, I don't know if I'll use it, but it was just like, oh, that's an idea. So figured I'd do it. Soup to nuts, American, F, from beginning to end. It is derived from the description of a full-course dinner. Oh, yeah. In which courses progress from soup to dessert of nuts. Oh, yeah. I did look that up recently. You remind me of that. Soup to nuts. Yep. Martin, where are you from? Most Americans have heard soup to nuts. So the fact that you didn't know what that meant means you're probably not American. So where are you from? I'm curious. UK. Okay. They don't say soup to nuts in the UK? Weird. What do they say? For like from beginning to end? Probably something funny. Sorry, I'm being like prejudiced against UK. Oh, come on. What am I doing? Go. There we go. What do they say? They say, Bob's your uncle. No, that doesn't make sense. More hands. Let's see. Okay, cool. So I just got a little bit. I was just being safe. Need to get more just limp, unconscious hands. What's this now? I don't remember doing this twice. Okay, just nothing. Got it. Okay.
So I'm rolling.
Conception to cremation. That's morbid. That's macabre. Cheddar! What's up, Cheddar? Thanks for tuning in. Oh, hello. So, Cheddar, just since you're just getting here, I'm going through footage, raw footage, from a music video I shot on Friday. And Victoria helped me out. Victoria was there. She's not in any of the shots. Actually, she might be in a blooper towards the end. If you hang out with me and watch the rest of this footage, when we get towards the end, you might see her in the background wearing a mask. So, good to see you. We're just going through footage. I'm talking about the film process. I'm talking about how we made it, and it's my first time looking at. I shot the footage, so I was there when I filmed it, but I haven't looked at it. I haven't looked at it at all. I was there when I shot it, but I haven't looked at it on a computer yet. It's a music video for somebody named Agent Envy. Her name's Alejandra, but her music name is Agent Envy. Her Instagram is agent.envy. Just put it in the chat. It probably showed up in chat before I even typed it in the stream. Magic. So let's keep going.
So I'm rolling.
So this was her waking
So
up.
I'm rolling.
We did a bunch of different takes of it. And different angles.
I'm rolling.
Look how cool the location is. Wait till you see the glide cam, like the wide shots. I think if you were to watch the raw footage of any film, you would see the moments that were bad. The moments where they didn't get it. Any actor, Daniel Day-Lewis, if you watch the raw footage, you're going to be like, wow, he's not getting me. He's not blah, blah, blah. But it's all put together in the edit. You can take someone who's a bad actor and edit them and use the best moments from all the clips, and you're going to get a good performance. So it is what it is. I don't think she was a bad actor. I think she was very good. We did do this scene a couple of times because the way in which she wakes up was sort of a pretty specific way that Cody and I were thinking. It took her a few takes to get there, but once we got there, we got all sorts of angles and close-ups, and with the music, it's gonna be killer. I have no doubt in my mind that it's gonna be killer.
That's great.
I think her acting was great. Were there moments that weren't so great? Yeah, but like I just said, any actor, I bet you, if you watch the raw footage from any film with any actor of any caliber, high, low, whatever, you're gonna see a range.
Okay. Stand by.
The location's so cool.
Okay. Ready when you are. Almost got it here. Let me cut.
Little blooper.
rolling. So yeah, we're like I said, we're just still practicing. You're getting it though. It's awesome. I'll shut up now. You start to awaken, just drowsily look at your wrists. That's awesome. Let's do one more time. I'm gonna just pick a different angle.
I have a tendency to, when I shoot, to just keep rolling, and then she'll do the take again. But I was pretty disciplined this shoot by, whenever I was going to ask her to do it again, I would cut and re-roll, because what can happen is you can miss a take in editing, because you see one take and you're like, oh, okay, cool. Now I don't like it. Let me go to the next one. But you don't realize that there's more to that clip, and there's another take there. It can happen. You would think, like, I can't. That's not going to happen. I'll know. I'll see that the clip's long, and I'll know there's another take there. But it happens. It happens all the time. So I was really trying to be disciplined and make sure that I don't double up takes in one clip.
That was great. Yeah. Ready when you are.
Yeah, I started to add a little bit of a camera roll. There's many terminologies for the roll. So if you're shooting your camera, you go like this. I'm pretty sure the technical term for that is a roll. So you might have a camera stabilizer that can roll. But there's different names for the shots when they are tilted that way. So the roll is the action of rolling it. But if you set up the shot this way and just film it like that, like 1960s Batman, you just leave it there. There's different names for that. I think the like sort of film textbook terminology is oblique. I remember learning in like film school and even in like high school that when a shot is like set askant like that, it's called an oblique angle, an oblique shot. But I have also heard later on after college, I've heard of this called a Dutch angle. Let's go Dutch with it. So I'll say to Cody, my business partner, I think I'm going to go a little Dutch. Or I was Dutch a little bit for that one. And I never do that. I'm usually pretty level when I shoot. But this one, because we're in like a mental landscape and she's like waking up and her head's moving, I felt like doing the roll and going Dutch a little bit, not so crazy like J.J. Abrams does, but like doing the roll and going a little Dutch, going a little oblique was just emphasizing the drowsiness, the sort of confusion of like waking up in this sort of tied up state. Hey, if you're watching this as a replay on YouTube, on the Rethink Films YouTube, first of all, thanks for watching. I'm glad you're here watching. But what happened today and that day when this was filmed was that there were some trolls in the chat who were not happy with the Black Lives Matter causes being a thing that is that I'm doing, and that sucks. And somehow either by my own fault or by someone's malicious behavior, the stream stopped. It said that a claim was made. It said the stream has been stopped because we detected audio or video, copyrighted audio or video, which is not true because I didn't have that, or because we received a complaint of a community guidelines violation. Now, someone in the chat said something kind of racist, so I reported it, and I reported it as hate speech. So I don't know if my own action of reporting it canceled the stream, or if when they got banned, they got angry, and then they made a complaint for the stream on their own and got the stream taken down. That's possible. I'm hoping within the next day or two I can figure out what happened and to prevent this from ever happening again. But in the meantime, what you can do is you can donate to those causes. Don't even donate to me. Just go to that link and donate straight to them, because that'll really piss off the trolls. So do the right thing and support Black Lives. And thank you for watching the Rethink Films De Casa Film replay of the stream. Happy filmmaking. Stay safe. Peace.